Gladiator Nation. When the injured snap and the strongman hides. But they won't call it what it really was. A workers' comp explosion inside the NFL's Golden Tower. A young man walked in with a rifle, but he carried more than bullets. He carried trauma. He carried brain damage. He carried CTE, the invisible curse of America's contact sports. A disease denied, downplayed, and discarded like the men who suffer from it. The NFL lied for decades. They denied the science, silenced the whistleblowers, told men to tough it out, then tossed them aside when their minds broke down. And America turned it into Sunday entertainment. They cheered concussions, bet money on the broken, while behind the scenes, men like Shane Tamura fell apart in silence. But Shane wasn't the first. Shane over in 1991, Thomas McIlvaine walked into a post office after being fired. 4 dead. Shado in 2008, Wesley Higdon snapped after a disciplinary write-up at Atlanta's Tostics. 5 dead. Cito in 2010, Jesse Warren opened fire at Penske Truck Rental. 4 more. Different buildings, same story. Men broken by the system, discarded, unheard, untreated. And when they erupt, we call it madness. But madness is what's left when justice fails. And now here comes Trump, the strongman king, UFC groupie, wants to hold fights on the White House lawn. He loves violence as a show, as long as he doesn't have to clean up the blood. But when our soldiers came home with TBIs, just headaches, he said, pussy injuries, he called them. The same injuries that broke Tamura, the same injuries that broke Sayu, Hernandez, hundreds more. Trump doesn't stand with warriors. He mocks them once they're limping. This isn't just about football. It's about labor. It's about dignity. It's about a nation that builds its empire on broken backs, then denies the cost. This wasn't random. This was systemic, predictable, preventable. But prevention doesn't sell tickets. We call this the land of opportunity. But what happens when opportunity gives you a brain injury? When your mind slips and the doctors call it not compensable. When your suffering is labeled off the record. When the strong are only celebrated when they're silent. This wasn't just a shooting. It was a rupture. A crack in the gladiator walls we pretend are bulletproof. Gladiator Nation, hear this. You built this. You funded this. You cheered this. You mocked the broken. Now own it. Because until we give workers the right to heal, until we treat trauma like truth, until we stop treating labor like cannon fodder, this will happen again. You can bury the bodies. You can mourn the dead. But until you change the system, you're just building the next collapse.